Hello everybody, Joe here with GardenofLuma.com, and today I wanted to talk to you about growing fruit trees from seed. So I have about 30 fruit trees here in my urban backyard garden, and a handful of them I grow from seed, and there's a few reasons why I do that, and I wanted to talk to you today about why I do that, why I grow some of my fruit trees from seed, because it isn't always the ideal thing to do. Grafted fruit trees produce clones to the tree that you want, so you're going to get the fruit that you want from a grafted tree, as well as grafted fruit trees tend to produce fruit a lot quicker than growing from seed. So the reason why I grow few fruit trees from seed is that, for one, I live in a marginal climate for growing tropical fruit trees. So I live in zone 9B here in the Phoenix, Arizona area, the desert. We have a really dry climate. We do get some cold snaps in the winter that drop below freezing temps, as well as our extreme heat in the summer. So for me, spending a lot of money on trees that may be marginal for our climate doesn't always make sense. So some of those types of trees are the ones that I try to experiment more with growing from seed. Things like annonas, sapotes, those really more tropical trees that have come from humid climates and different things like that, I'll try growing from seed. So a few of the things I'm growing from seed right now would be soursop. I have a soursop tree that's about two years old from seed. I have ademoyas grown from seed, sugar apple, Candistill I just started this year. I have a few of those growing around the yard here. And Jaboticaba is another one that I've tried to grow from seed this year. I also have one of my mangoes is growing from seed. Another thing that I found from growing from seed is, since they are more vigorous growers, they tend to kind of handle our marginal climate a little bit better. They plow through our heat a little bit better and our cold snaps. So it seems like they can handle the elements a little bit better just because they're more vigorous than a grafted growing tree. So I want to show you a few different things that are kind of unique to growing from seed here. So let me just take you around my yard here. All right, so this is one of my African Pride ademoyas I'm growing from seed here. As you can see, it's doing quite well. It is November here now, so this guy does shed its leaves in the winter, kind of slowly throughout the winter. Just before its growth flush in the spring, it'll kind of lose the last of its leaves, but it is doing quite well here. One thing about ademoyas is they are a hybrid, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to get growing this from seed, if it's going to be more like a cherimoya or more like a sugar apple. The leaves here look kind of more like a cherimoya. They're a little bit bigger, and cherimoyas have those bigger leaves, so we'll see what it comes out to be. But again, since this is kind of marginal for my climate, since we don't have the humidity, does grow really well here, but as far as getting it to fruit with no humidity is the challenge. Okay, let's take a look at a couple other things here. Okay, I wanted to show you the difference in my mangoes here. So you can kind of see tucked back there, that's my kit mango. You got lemongrass kind of overrunning it here on the side, but that I purchased as a 3-gallon grafted tree 2.5 years ago. This Itamaraca mango that you can see is quite a bit larger, was started from seed about 6 months before I purchased this kit mango. So when I purchased this 3-gallon kit mango here, this was about 12 inches, so it was really tiny, and this was the standard 3-gallon mango size. And I wanted to see if you can see the trunk difference on this too. So again, they're about the same age tree, and you can see the trunk size here on my Itamaraca mango from seed compared to The grafted is still a bit smaller here. So this Itamaraca has been a lot more vigorous here, grown from seed. But with the kit here, I did have 5 mangoes on it already. So again, grafted will produce a lot faster. Whereas the Itamaraca, I have not had any mangoes yet on that. So seedlings do take longer to produce fruit, but they do grow a lot more vigorous and can handle conditions that are more marginal better. So let me show you one other thing. All right, this is one of my Canistils or yellow sapotes. I have 4 of these total. These I started from seed this year, so it's only about 6 months old. I have 2 others in the ground throughout my yard, as well as 1 in a container. So that's one thing I like too when I'm trying seedlings, is putting 1 in the ground and 1 in a container, so I can move the 1 in a container inside if I need to for the cold snaps that we get, and move those around the yard. And then these I can kind of test out to see how they handle the elements that we get. So growing from seed is just fun to experiment for me too, you know, just trying different things. We as gardeners, we just like to experiment, right? So that's another good reason for growing things from seed here. Some of the things with growing from seeds, how I start my seeds, as you can see here, I just planted the seed directly in the ground. And sometimes I do that. You know, sometimes I start them inside using the wet paper towel and a baggie method. That's pretty common. You know, just directly sowing them in the ground often works too. A lot of the tropical seeds have like a hard outer shell coating that you kind of have to snap and to make it germinate a little bit faster, or take that outer coating off the seed to make it germinate faster. But otherwise, I mean, you can pretty much directly sow a lot of the seeds in the ground too if you live in a warm climate like I do. Check out my blog at gardenofluma.com. I have a blog post there that gives you a lot more details about growing from seed, why it can be a good idea for you, especially in marginal climates like Zone 9B for tropical fruit trees. Thanks for watching.